All right, hi, welcome back, Attorney Steve Vondra, and welcome to another exciting video. Today we're talking about music infringement. This is a warning for you YouTubers, you TikTokers, you people that put out the videos. This is a very cautious tale for you to keep in mind. A TikToker was slammed with an $800,000 judgment, if you can imagine that, for using one of Sony's songs. They were using a song from a Japanese composer, Toshifumi Hinata, a 1986 song called Reflections. Okay, so it was a really cool song. And what happened is this guy had, and I'll just give you his name, he was a popular TikToker, 20 years old, Arizona artist. His name was Trey Fuego, his real name, Dontrial Davon Clark Rainbot. I want to make sure I get that right. So what happens, he was a very popular artist, and he used part of this song in sort of a sampling, I would call it, a part of the song which the plaintiff, Sony Music Entertainment, Sony Publishing, as you can see right here, they have the rights to the song Reflections, okay, from the artist. And therefore, they went and said, well, this guy's getting tons of views. I think they argued down here. Let's see how many views they said he got. It's down here somewhere. He said here, Reflections continues to have standalone success, remains Hinata's most popular musical composition and sound recording to date. So number one, he picked one of the greatest songs, and number two, they said he took the hook, the heart of the song, okay? So you always have to be careful with that, especially when you're dealing with big companies like Sony, okay? To date, boasting over 53 million streams on Spotify alone. Reflections was also recently featured in the 2020 Netflix film Tiger Tail and in the 2018 Amazon television series Forever. Okay, so what happens? They filed the complaint. The defendant, first there was a takedown. I believe it was on TikTok. And when you get a takedown, you got to respond to it or not. Sometimes you're better not responding. Sometimes if you do a counter notification, you can end up agreeing to jurisdiction. Well, in this case, Sony was having a problem serving the defendant, and they eventually sought court approval to serve him through his social media. So it's very unique. That's not usually a way you see people being served. Usually it's personal service or substitute service, but they allowed him to go through and serve him through the media where he has his channels, okay? And so there they said that's reasonably likely to hit the TikToker and he would have notice. However, even getting the notice, he did not respond. His song was in the loop called 90 mph. I assume that maybe means 90 miles an hour, and as you note here, even sampling can get you in trouble, guys. Specifically, the featured portion contains the distinctive 15-note melodic sequence on strings and the violin, and the piano chord progression. I'll play it for you in a second. Just a tiny little sample under the fair use rights of the copyright laws. I'm commenting, I'm criticizing, using this for scholarly, newsworthy purposes. Okay, so, but they said his conduct resulted in unauthorized copying, performance, transmission, and creation of a derivative work. That's a right of the copyright holder, has the exclusive rights to make copies, publicly perform, distribute, and create derivatives works. Okay, so he infringed on their rights. They went after him. He did not respond to the complaint ultimately. After they filed suit in March of 2023, and it looks like in November, about 7-8 months later, they filed for judgment on the pleadings. That's when you say, Judge, there's no answer. I meet all the elements. He didn't answer. Let's get the judgment, and then let's talk money. Let's talk damages. So I'm going to show you that in a second. But right now, let's just listen to the clip, and you can see that it was the same thing was incorporated. I'd like to compare it with the TikToker, what he did. However, I tried to find it on YouTube, and it was taken down. All right, here's the song. Hear the piano. They called that the hook. And the violin, absolutely stunning and beautiful. Okay, so here's what the judge did when it came to damages. The record establishes at least $700,000 in revenue generated by the infringing work, $686,418.41 paid to the defendant, and $14,078.82 held by his third-party distributor after the distributor learned of Sony's lawsuit. Okay. Aggregating these amounts with SMPs, that's your plaintiff's lost license fees. They looked at that. Sony's breakdown is straightforward. Damages, and we lost license fees of $150,000. You need to pay those, defendant. Trufago's additional sound recording revenues. I mean, this kid is, let's face it, he's on fire. He's fuego. $550,000 in revenues. Incredible. Sony claimed lost license fee of $102,000. And some additional publishing revenues. Total $802,000. The second row figure represents the gross revenues generated by the sound recording, less their lost licensing fee, while the third row figure represents SMP's $2,500 upfront fee plus SMP's 50% share of the estimated $200,000 in U.S. Spotify and Apple publishing revenue. So the kid's making money. That was a lot of money. But you can't do that on the backs of somebody else's music. And so this should serve as a warning, guys. Be very careful. If you're going to use somebody's clip, try to get their permission. Try to get clearance, as we call it. If not, you got to be super careful to use. I didn't want to get into it. You have to make yourself an argument for fair use when it comes to very popular music that can be very, very, very difficult. So be careful if you don't know what you're doing. Get yourself a copyright lawyer. All right, this is general legal information only, not legal advice. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and, hit that like button. All right, bye now. Have a great day.